anymore.
Me either. Baby's come a long way with her.
I've come a long way.
We both have actually in the relationship. What's up, rollies?
It's the Benz fam,
Back with another video. So today we sitting out here poolside. And we wanted to do our part 2 from our marriage counseling.
It was highly requested. Y'all wanted it, y'all got it.
If y'all want us to continue these relationship advices, words from our therapist, which we don't go to marriage counseling anymore. I feel like even when things are good, you can still probably go to marriage counseling.
You can always grow.
Insight on a better relationship. And it kind of helps you on other relationships too, because a lot of it you can apply everywhere, anywhere, everywhere. So, free game session. Alright, so marriage counseling part 1. We told y'all about our thugged out therapist. She used to work in the prison. She was a little Puerto Rican stud or some kind of Colombian stud. She probably was part of the mafia. I don't know. We went to her before we had got married. After we got married, we decided that we didn't want to backtrack. So we're like, let's go to a marriage counselor. Baby got online and she found us a marriage counselor. I actually had a question in my DM. DM me with any questions, any topic, and we'll address it in a video. The question was, how do you find a counselor? How do you pick one that you're both comfortable with? I feel like it's trial and error.
I do too, but there's also a lot of websites. Both of the ones that we found were on a shared website that gave a list of all of the marriage counselors in our area, and it also has a picture. So it was important for us to see a picture to kind of find somebody that we felt they weren't too young.
They old enough to know better.
Yes, we knew we wanted a woman, and it was kind of just intuition.
Honestly, you go on that website and you prejudge people. You go and you think, oh, this person be this way, that way. But you just gotta go. You try a session out. If you don't vibe, pick a new one, because y'all both gotta feel comfortable. Can't just be a one-sided thing. Y'all both gotta vibe with them.
Give them a call when you schedule your appointment so that you can kind of get a feel for them. Ask questions if you want to ask questions,
because you can spot a bitch on the phone.
Exactly.
Bad attitude.
You usually work with same-sex couples. What's your experience with them? Like,
and if they
like
hang up on you, that means they ain't fucking with your gay ass.
You got to get a feel for it. Y'all both have to agree, so it might take a lot of phone calls, but make sure you both agree, because if one person doesn't like that person,
it's gonna be like a tag team.
Exactly.
Tag team, back again. Something, let's begin.
Okay, I thought you knew this song.
No, I thought you was gonna chime in.
I was just dancing with you.
I thought you was gonna pick up where I didn't know. I feel like the most effective is gonna be go there, take a chance, pick somebody, see how the session goes. If it works, it works. If it don't, move on. I actually saw in the news though, there's not a lot of black therapists. What? And that could be like causing issues in our mental health because we feel like we don't have someone to relate to.
Yeah, the representation matters.
But if you find a genuine person, whatever race, it shouldn't matter as much. Exactly. I mean, they might not directly relate with your culture and everything, but they know basic relationship advice and strategies and this and that and this and that. So this counselor was totally different than the other counselor. Way softer.
Equally good, for sure.
Just a whole different style.
She used the Gottman Method, which is a method that is scientifically proven to work for same-sex couples as well as heterosexual couples. If you're a heterosexual couple,
get a drink, because you ain't even talking right, girl. You need your liquor.
If you're a heterosexual couple,
is it good?
I don't know.
He was like, here, girl, get some more.
I don't want no more.
Get some more.
I haven't eaten today.
Just get one more.
Hold on.
Oh, one more.
Shut up. So if you're a heterosexual couple, obviously most marriage counseling was designed to work for you. If you're same-sex,
damn,
shut up, I'm done messing with you. If you are a same-sex couple, it's important that you find a method that is proven to work for same-sex couples. We don't have heterosexual problems. We're two women. If you're two men, same issue. It's not the same. So you need a method that works for you. The Gottman Method worked well for us.
I agree and I disagree with what she said. I feel like some techniques are gonna work for any relationship in general, but I feel like the outlook on someone who, just how I said with having a black therapist and you're black, they live your lifestyle, so they have different insights. Now, like the written things and the theories and all of the studies and stuff, I feel like a relationship is a relationship, so a lot of the tactics are gonna work either way. But if you want somebody to relate to, you need somebody who lives that lifestyle.
I agree with that mostly, but I also believe the issues that we have are not heterosexual issues. I feel like we have different issues. Neither one of us has that masculine energy.
What?
Neither one of us has that masculine energy. We don't have a problem with communication. We don't have a problem with expressing our feelings. Lesbian issues.
We did.
Too much expressing.
We did have a problem because you was the nigga. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that was my trauma. I'm not.
It don't
really
matter.
A man.
It was your issue. Give me kids. Why you over here disregarding your own issue? Those were the exact issues we had, and I was with a woman.
Yeah.
She was the man for a minute.
Yeah, but we would have had more issues if you were with a man.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it. One of the things that she said that really, really stuck with us is, it is not me versus you, it's us versus the problem. So we had to start approaching our problems as us versus the problem, not me versus you. There was a lot of different tools that she gave us for that, and one of the main ones was, when we communicate, no, that's not one. When we communicate, be conscious of how you are communicating.
With that, it helps you to work together on solving problems. So basically, it's like this. The problem is how you're communicating with me. It's not you.
Exactly.
So I could be like, you be talking to me crazy and I don't like how you talk to me. Or I could say, when you talk to me like that, it makes me feel this type of way.
Okay, we're gonna role play this for y'all. Come on, we've been drinking.
She been drinking.
You need to stop talking to me crazy all the time. You got me fucked up. How can she respond to that? There's only so many ways that a person can respond to me attacking her. But if I say it like this, so I've been wanting to talk to you. When we go out and you talk to me rudely in front of people, it really makes me feel like you don't care about me, and it makes me feel embarrassed, and it makes me feel like I don't want to go places with you if you're going to belittle me like that in public.
What you gonna say?
What you gonna say? I mean, you can.
You could be like, is you stupid or is you dumb?
You could, but if the person really wants to be with you, you're coming from a genuine place, and I'm not attacking her. It's not you doing this, you talking like this, you got me fucked up. You're making me feel a certain type of way.
One of the main things that you don't do is start by telling the other person what they do.
Exactly.
Tell them how what they do makes you feel. You word it in a way that you're expressing how what they do, which is the problem, makes you feel. Try that out for like a month. I swear it'll change your life.
If you try that and you keep coming from that vulnerable place and the person is still arguing with you and fighting with you,
red flag.
Red flag. You might want to evaluate that relationship, because that person ain't trying to work with you at all.
You can't be watching this vlog on the low and then getting all this free game and not telling your partner and expecting them to know. You need to sit them down and be like, look, I heard about this technique. So I think when we get into an argument, rather than saying you do this, you do that, I think we should address what the problem is. Let's try that for a month, and then y'all try it. You can't just
be the only person that
expect somebody else to know what you're trying to do. Communication is key. That's the biggest thing in a relationship. Communication. Boom.
Boom.
So when we first started going to Pamela, she kind of like evaluated us. Basically, she had both of us come in. We had to tell her why we were there. Then she set up sessions. So one session was for me to go and talk, and one session was for Whitney. And I actually really appreciated that, because I felt like with Whitney, she had a hard time speaking up. She used to really let a whole bunch of things build up, and then I could sneeze and she'd be like, you motherfuckers, you've been doing this, and I'm like, damn.
I had a secret note of all the things she was doing that was bothering me.
Because I never knew any of it. So if you don't voice what's going on, you cannot expect your partner to know. So I felt like that was valuable, because it gave Whitney a chance to tell her things that maybe she wouldn't want to say when I was there. It gave her a chance to express things, and maybe the counselor could evaluate when we were there and be like, oh, I see what Whitney means when she says that Ashley does this, or vice versa. If you have issues and you're like scared to say it in front of your partner because you don't want to fight, it gives you that opportunity to say it, and then your therapist can pry into those without you having to say that. I'm motherfucking sweating.
Me too. That was important for me. I don't know what she did with you, but with me, she kind of asked for my life story a little bit, so it got really emotional. And I feel like what she was able to determine from that, are there underlying issues that aren't related to Ashley? Are there childhood issues, trauma, things that have nothing to do with Ashley that are showing up in this relationship and causing problems for Ashley and Whitney? That was a big thing. She encouraged me to seek professional counseling on my own, because there were a lot of issues for me that were causing problems in my relationship, and they weren't related to Ashley. They weren't Ashley's fault. I just had a lot of childhood trauma.
You get to evaluate yourself and your relationship.
Sometimes you need to work on yourself. Sometimes maybe it's not marriage counseling. Maybe you need to go seek counseling for yourself so that you can figure out how to stop creating the cycles of your childhood.
That's true. One thing I like about counseling is that if you've ever listened to another couple argue, then it's like when you say that shit out loud in front of someone else, sometimes you wouldn't even say it because it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That when you have a therapist there, they can kind of be like, do you hear what you're saying? That doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Or like, that's not logical. So they kind of get to like check you and get you back on track. Not even check you, it's just get you back in your lane. Cause you start swerving and saying shit don't make no sense.
And it's like,
hold
what
on.
are you doing right
Hold
now?
on.
Exactly. The 4 horsemen are criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling.
So basically what these are like
What will ruin a marriage?
criticism, we kind of just went over. It's how you attack your partner. You don't come at them with like a resolution type of attitude. You come at them attacking them. They might be wrong, but you attack them, you ain't gonna get nowhere.
Exactly. So the next one was defensiveness. When your partner comes at you with that vulnerable statement of, I feel like this when you do that. If they're getting defensive, there's that problem. So now that problem needs to be addressed. So remember that it's not you versus your partner, it's y'all versus the problem. So it's up to y'all to break down what it is that's going on.
The next one was contempt. And contempt is kind of where one person feels like they're better than the other person. So the example she gave was a husband works all day and comes home and is like, you should do this and you should do that and you should have been doing this because I'm at work all day and go get me this and go get me that. So it's like you're less than me, so I get to tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. She said that contempt is usually an issue that's not fixable
And will typically lead in divorce. You can't fix people's feelings of superiority and inferiority. Like, those are unfixable. The last horseman was stonewalling. So this is a fun fact for y'all. 85% of stonewalling is done by men in heterosexual relationships.
And guess which problems the counselor thought we had? A little bit of criticism.
Aggressively criticizing.
So we was getting at each other the wrong way.
Exactly.
It was just bad communication and stonewalling.
Yes.
So she said 85% of stonewalling comes from men. Guess who was stonewalling? I'm gonna let baby explain what stonewalling is, and then I'll give you the examples that we had in our relationship.
Stonewalling is when one partner goes to share their emotions and their feelings and the other person completely shuts down. The stonewaller shuts down when it's time to have emotional conversations or if ever their feelings get hurt. So their defense mechanism is often to just shut down. I don't even know anybody that does that anymore.
Me either. Baby's come a long way with her stonewalling.
I've come a long way.
We both have actually in the relationship. When baby and I first got together, I was kind of like a player. So I didn't really express my emotions. I wasn't really emotionally attached like that. When I got with baby and I got rid of all my little joints and everything, I was like, you know what? If I'm gonna ask this woman to marry me, I'm gonna put all this bullshit aside and I'm gonna really make an effort to have the best possible relationship. Open, honest, communication, vulnerability, all that. And that was something that like a pact within myself. Weeks leading into our engagement, I was stressed out because I was like having these conversations with myself like, you can't do it if you ain't gonna do it 100%. You can't do this halfway, you can't do that, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. And you really gotta prep your mind for that. So if you have a different lifestyle and then you get with somebody else and you're like, you know, I want a real relationship, I want a real marriage, you gotta make changes. So I made it a point to be very open and express my feelings. And what do you know? I got very emotional. We would get into it and I would want to like tell her how certain things made me feel or ask her how certain things I did made her feel, and I would get nothing.
But that goes back to, if you need to go to therapy for your own childhood issues, take your ass to therapy. Because even if I would have been like, I'm not doing all this opening up stuff with Ashley, I was never going to find an honest, real, vulnerable relationship with anybody because I was not capable of opening up to that extent because I had too many issues. Just everybody I had ever cared about had done something in some way to hurt me. I was not emotionally available for vulnerability. I was not capable of it. And so I needed to work on me so that I could become capable of it.
Are you voice cracking or are you choking on your Twizzler?
Probably a little bit of both.
Okay. I just didn't know if I needed to like console you, but then there was like a lot of smacking and swallowing, and so I didn't really know.
Ashley didn't have those same issues. She didn't really need to go to individual counseling. I did. I had to be accountable for that, and it really changed a lot of things in our relationship.
With her having her issues of being closed and me being open, and her like pushing me away, it kind of caused different issues, because then slowly she opened up, but then she had shut me down, and that was something that I had never experienced. I don't know, issues are kind of like they go back and forth, so you might fix one and get another one. You got to keep balance in all of it, because somebody's not gonna just stay the same and have the same outlook and the same approach if you don't get on the same page with them.
Exactly.
So the point is, you got to be mindful of, while you were fixing this problem, were you creating this other problem?
Exactly. Fortunately, baby and I didn't really have very many repair issues.
Like, we didn't have infidelity.
We never broke each other's trust. We never did anything to make it where like there was some real deep hurt caused by each other.
Pause. For all y'all youngsters that's watching, the worst thing you can do in a relationship now is get into a fight and post shit on social media.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Or hit up an ex, or like go to the club and get some phone numbers and all that, because that just really makes like a deep-rooted hurt.
You're breaking
caused
trust
by the person
over some pettiness.
You can't really get that back. Fortunately for us, we didn't have that problem. There wasn't any real deep-rooted hurt from each other that needed to be repaired. It was really just lack of like communication and knowledge of how to get at each other.
So when we went in there, we kind of didn't even know what our issues were.
We just knew we had a problem.
We just knew we had a problem. And so you don't need to know your issues, you just kind of need to let them know what's going on.
They'll figure it out.
One question that she asked us was, what brought you guys together? Where did you guys meet? What was one of y'all's favorite times together? What's a memory you can think of that will just make you laugh? An important thing to do in a relationship, especially a long-term one, going over fond memories.
Your first date, when you knew you were in love, or what you was telling your friends when you met them. Those things remind you of why you fell in love, and they remind you of that playfulness that we all enjoy in the beginning of a relationship. Like, make sure that you go back over those so that you really remember, like, I love you because of this, or like, I remember when I first fell in love with you. You just don't let those fade. And if you're going through a hard time especially, make sure you guys talk about those things, because no relationship is all sunshine, but remember the sunshine. Don't get stuck in the rain.
We could go on forever about our counseling. We could go on forever with our advice. If y'all would like for us to start a relationship advice chat, hashtag relationship advice, and we gonna set that up. We gonna listen to your personal issues. No, we're not licensed therapists, but we've gone through a bit of shit. We'll take your personal problems, your personal issues, and we can give you a counseling session. Let us know if you're interested in that. We've had some requests for it, so let's see how many people would actually utilize it. We love y'all.
Thanks for rolling. Make sure you subscribe, turn that notification bell on. We are posting videos every single day.
Hit that like button.
And hit that like button.
I holla.